Thank you, and please be seated. Good evening. My name is LeVar Charleston. I'm the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Vice Provost, and Chief Diversity Officer here at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I'm also the LZ Higginbottom Director of the Division of Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement. I'm honored to welcome you to the 2022 DDEA Graduation Recognition Ceremony to celebrate the class of 2022. Today is a momentous occasion in the lives of our graduates, their families, and the UW-Madison. This is indeed a special time and a special place, and it's important for us to acknowledge that our celebration takes place on the ancestral land of the Ho-Chunk Nation, the people of the Big Voice, who have called this place Dejop since time immemorial. We acknowledge the circumstances that led to the forced removal of the Ho-Chunk people and honor their legacy of resistance and resilience. This history of colonization informs our work and vision for a collaborative future. We recognize and respect the inherent sovereignty of the Ho-Chunk Nation and the other 11 First Nations within the boundaries of the state of Wisconsin. We are all here together today to celebrate the participants in the DDA scholarship and service programs that are uniquely designed to increase diversity and help to foster equity, inclusion, and belonging for our brilliant scholars here at the university. These programs include our CO scholars. Oh, y'all don't have no love for y'all. Where the CO scholars at? Our first wave hip hop and urban arts scholars. Our Mercille J. Lee scholars, our Posse scholars, our People scholars, and last but not least, our McNair scholars. Let's get it. As a two-time UW alum myself, I know firsthand the sacrifices you all have made to consistently exemplify excellence in scholarship, leadership, and service here on campus. And while I, just like your families, friends, peers, and professors, am extremely proud of each and every one of you, I am not at all surprised by your successes because you were here both on purpose and for a purpose. And to be sure, your diplomas and your graduation have fulfilled at least one aspect of that purpose. Today, I have the honor of introducing the distinguished officials joining me on the stage this evening. The Division of Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement is proud of the broad support we receive from across the campus community. Collectively, we are consistently working to develop and maintain an inclusive, safe, and encouraging environment that aims to support all our students to not only survive UW, but to thrive here at UW. We know that ensuring the success of our brilliant scholars engages our entire village, and we are certainly grateful for the tremendous partnerships we have all over this campus. I will ask members to stand and remain standing until all names are called. Please hold your applause until all officials are introduced. Sherry Ann Charleston, JD, PhD, Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer at Harvard University. Torshika Maddox, PhD, Senior Operations Officer and Chief of Staff, Division of Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement. Albert Nunez, MA, Advisor, UW-Madison Posse Program, Division of Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement. Julie Janiak, PhD, Director, Center for Educational Opportunity, Division of Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement. Sophia Agareche Snow, Director, Office of Multicultural Arts Initiatives and First Wave Hip Hop and Urban Arts Scholarship Program, Division of Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement. Adra Hernandez, PhD, Director, McNair Scholars Program, Division of Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement. Gao Young Thao, MA, Interim Assistant Director, Mercille J. Lee Scholars Program, Division of Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement. Gail Ford, MED, Director, Pre-College Enrichment Opportunity Program for Learning Excellence, Division of Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement. Louis Macias, PhD, Associate Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, UW-Madison College of Agricultural and Life Sciences. Christian Castro, THD, Associate Dean for Inclusion, Equity, and Diversity Engineering, UW-Madison College of Engineering. Devon Wilson, MSED, Associate Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, UW-Madison College of Letters and Sciences. Sarah Corpy, PhD, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Director, UW-Madison Division of Continuing Studies. Marianne Birdbear, BA, Associate Dean, UW-Madison International Division. Banu Pata-Hill, MBA, Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer, UW-Madison School of Business. Percival Matthews, PhD, Associate Dean and Professor, Office of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, UW-Madison School of Education. Mel Freitag, PhD, Diversity and Inclusion Officer, UW-Madison School of Nursing. Lisa Imhoff, MS, Associate Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, UW-Madison School of Pharmacy. Gabriel Javier, MA, Associate Vice Chancellor for Identity and Inclusion, UW-Madison Division of Student Affairs. Thank you. Will you all please take your seats? It is now my great pleasure to introduce to some and reintroduce to others our keynote speaker, Dr. Sherry Ann Charleston. Dr. Charleston serves as the inaugural Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer at Harvard University. She is one of the nation's leading experts in diversity in higher education and assumed her current role in August of 2020. She is a historian trained in U.S. history with a focus on race, women, gender, citizenship, and the law, and attorney with a specialization in constitutional and employment law. Prior to her current role, she served as the Assistant Vice Provost for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion and Chief Affirmative Action Officer at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, right here in our beloved division, where she was also responsible for evaluating progress toward the goals of a campus-wide strategic diversity plan. During her leadership, she also oversaw the Office of Employee Disability Resources and undergraduate scholarship programs focused on recruiting and retaining students from historically underrepresented communities. As an academician and administrator, she has expertise in affirmative action, Title IX, and Americans with Disability Act enforcement and compliance. Her career focuses on translating diversity and inclusion research into practice for students, staff, researchers, postdoctoral fellows, and all faculty with a particular interest in faculty of color. She also held faculty affiliations with the Departments of Gender and Women's Studies and the Department of Educational Leadership and Policy Analysis, teaching courses on women, inequality, and policy analysis at UW-Madison. In 2019, Diverse Issues in Higher Education magazine named her one of the top 35 women in higher education. Dr. Charleston received a BA from Columbia University in History and African American Studies, a MA and PhD in History from the University of Michigan, and a JD from the University of Wisconsin Law School. Please join me in welcoming back to campus Dr. Sherry Ann Charleston.
Oh my goodness, it is so wonderful to be here with you all today. I forget that the podiums at UW-Madison are only occasionally made ready for me. Most of the time, they're made for people a little bit taller. So hopefully those of you in the front, I'll look around so you can see me every once in a while, don't worry. But really, it truly is an honor to be back at UW. Thank you, Dr. Charleston. Thank you to your team, other members of the party here. I am really relishing this opportunity to see so many happy faces, especially the faces of so many students in one place, since we are coming back from virtual land, and getting to see the faces of students that some of whom I've had an opportunity to work with. You know, your years at university are some of the best years of your life. And now you're embarking on what I would call the next best years of your life. There's this beautiful sweet spot between the time that you're 22 and 25, listen to me closely, when you can actually go out in the evening and wake up in the morning. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. It's a precipitous decline the day after you turn 25. I'm telling you. You will look back and you will wonder, how is it that I stayed up all night talking to my friends and still made it to class the next day? And I'm telling you, you won't be able to explain it. So hold on to the next 3 years. It's all downhill after that. Now, on that bright note, I'm actually going to do what Dr. Charleston asked me to do. You know, I've spent most of my career working with students, helping them think about their post-graduation plans. I actually spent years here on campus as the director of pre-law advising right over at Middleton Hall. And in those days, I had a first-floor office, and I was overlooking that courtyard that many of you probably have walked through quite a bit. And if you look in that courtyard, there's actually this beautiful oak tree. And I would sometimes just look out of that window and you would see the branches of the oak tree. They would reach above above the sight line, right beyond the top of my window. And I spent considerable time with students. What's your name?
I'm Noah.
Thank you, Noah. Noah is the MVP for today. If you all see Noah, you give him a high five. So I would spend considerable time in there, and I would talk to students, and students would come in, and they would be facing things that I'm sure are not familiar to any of you. They were uncertain about the path that they were getting ready to take. They were sometimes concerned that the path that they had chosen was not straight for any number of reasons. Perhaps they'd taken time away from school for one reason or another. Life got in the way. Perhaps they were debating whether to take a gap year or not, or maybe years. And in reality, it was an abrupt departure from what many people had experienced heretofore. The path had been linear, and then all of a sudden the branches just began to diverge on you, and now you're faced with all these choices. And honestly, I could sympathize. When I was graduating, I sat in a ceremony quite like this. I was getting my undergraduate degree, and I walked in and I had an opportunity to address the group. And I had gone to the bookstore earlier that day, and I saw a book called The Quarter Life Crisis. And I thought, that's it. That's what I'm feeling. It's a quarter life crisis, right? Like, what am I gonna do? I've completed the first quarter of my life, so I thought, and I couldn't figure out what I was gonna do going forward. And so I said that to the group, and of course the parents laughed, 25 quarter life crisis, what's that? But it's a very real thing. And, at that point I was trying to decide. I knew I wanted a career in public service. I didn't know exactly how I was going to do that. I had a passion for history. And so the question was, should I pursue my passion in history and become a historian and use that to fulfill my desire to go into public service? Or should I go on to law school and take a more traditional route to public service? The path at the time was just so uncertain. And so many times I've been asked to reflect on my own path, and people ask me, how did you get from there to here? And, I tell them the same as I'm going to tell you, that my path has been anything but linear. I did decide to get my PhD in history. I did eventually decide to go back to law school. Do not recommend, at least not in that order. I would say do it all at the same time, because it was a long time. I was in school a very long time. But I will tell you that I think back to that oak tree very often. And as I think about it, I always remind myself that the branches don't have the perspective to know where they're headed. They are just going up. They know that they are following their dreams. They know that they are letting their light lead them. They know that they're following their passion. And so I tell students, simple, follow your passion. Follow your dreams. Let your light lead you. Let your joy be your guide. And here's the secret to it all. In addition to the fact that once you turn 25, it's all a precipitous downhill and you have no more energy, remember that there is no magic answer. The only goal is actually to stay on the branch and to keep moving forward. That's it. Now, certainly, this class, this group of people who's gathered here today is perhaps more poised than any group that has come before you to deal with uncertainty and to deal with the perils of navigating it than any class that has gone before you. If you just take a look back and think about all the things that you discovered over the course of the last 2 years, just think about it, all the uncertainty, and think about how you manage that. Hold on to those lessons. Don't forget what you learned. Don't forget what you gained. Remember, you were selected to attend this great institution because we knew, and I was here at the time, we knew you would make this place better. We knew that your passions, your insights, your discoveries, your questions would help make this place better, would help make us better. We actually need you to follow your passion. We need you to follow your light. We need you to follow what brings you joy. We need you to follow your dreams, because that's how we get to live out ours. As an alumnus of this great institution, and I'm talking to you all soon, you have a great responsibility. As citizens of this community and as citizens of the world, you now have conferred upon you all the rights and the responsibilities of this great citizenship. And so as you get ready to move beyond this campus, please remember that you will always continue to be citizens of this community. And we do hope that you'll contribute. And more than that, we hope that you'll contribute by continuing to hold us accountable to our role in the world, to make us do better. We hope you will continue to take all that you've learned here, every single thing with you, and continue to ask the hard questions. Search for hard truths. Sift and to winnow as you've learned, and make UW do better. Make us all be better. In the words of another great alumnus of this institution, Dr. Alex G., you've entered to learn, now exit to serve. Take all that you have learned here into the future with you and use it. Use it for the good. The world needs you. Now, as you go out, I'm going to give you a few words of advice, other than hold on to the next 3 years. Number one, always be nice. So simple. Just be nice. People are caring and carrying so much in the world. And that's easy. Just be nice. Number two, remember that a leader walking by themselves is just a lonely person on a long walk. If people aren't following you, you're not really leading anyone. You're just out there by yourself, which goes back to rule number one. Be nice. Be nice. People follow you. It's not hard. And then number three, something that someone told me one day that saved me through several quarter-life crises after my first quarter-life crises, so I'm going to share it with you all too. In your 20s, learn something. That's it. Just learn something. In your 30s, know something. In your 40s, do something. And in your 50s, be something. 20s, learn something. 30s, know something. 40s, do something. 50s, be something. But don't be in a rush to get to the next place. Take in every single moment that's given to you, breathe it in, live it, experience it, hold on to it, cherish it deeply. And while you're doing that, we'll all be right here with you, cheering you on, waiting for your successes, hoping in you, hoping for you, believing in you, believing for you, believing and keeping our optimism that has been born through the time that we've had with each and every one of you, that you will indeed help us change the world. Thank you so much. Congratulations, graduates, and on Wisconsin.
I had to, y'all. I had to. Thank you, Dr. Charleston, for your keen words of wisdom and inspiration. Our student speakers will now address our graduates. They will be introduced by their respective program director. I welcome to the stage Dr. Julie Janiak to the podium to introduce the Center for Educational Opportunity student speakers.
Good evening. I'm the interim director for the Center for Educational Opportunity, also known as CEO. The center houses two federally funded TRIO projects, Student Support Services and Student Support Services STEM and Health Sciences. Our mission is to foster the success of undergraduate students who are first generation, income eligible, and/or have a disability. We support students' engagement, achievement, and graduation through proactive advising, tutoring, peer mentoring, and holistic support. And to us, holistic support means we try to wrap our help around students to include anything happening inside or outside of the classroom. Tonight, CO is honored to have Shania Auxier represent us and share part of her journey and words of wisdom with us. Miss Auxier is well known in our office for her warm, friendly nature and her willingness to talk with everyone. She is an ardent supporter of our program, and we will miss her. Shania is earning her Bachelor's of Arts in Psychology with honors and a certificate in Gender and Women's Studies. After graduation, she plans to begin her PhD in fall 2023. Please join me in welcoming Shania Auxier to the stage.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shania Auxier, like you literally just heard. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm in CO, also like you just heard, the Center for Educational Opportunity. One of the hallmarks of CO is the community of support it provides. Freshmen in CO are placed into little groups, each with a peer mentor who's older and in CO, and they meet weekly. These small groups allow closer connections with each other and increased mentorship with someone you can grow to rely on. Freshmen learn quickly that they seem to have a lot more questions about life and college than they thought. So having a point person that they can turn to who has very recently been in their shoes is crucial to adjustment and belonging that first year. Also in these weekly meetings, we bond as a larger cohort, strengthening our ties to our CO family. I remember one week we literally sat on the floor of one of the Gordon's event rooms upstairs and discussed the importance of support networks. I'll never forget this because as we sat together, holding strings that physically tied us to the web of people we could rely on, we shared our personal stories. I listened as people told of the journeys they walked through and the struggles that they faced to get here, and by the time it was my turn, I realized my story was not unique. I looked around the room and I saw I was surrounded by people who understood exactly what it meant to attend this university. Since then, I've been able to connect with even more people who have similar backgrounds to me, especially those who are faculty and in other role model positions. These people became not only a part of my support network, but a testament to what I could achieve and who I could become if I kept down the path I was going. It's important to see yourself represented in places that you want to be and belong. And what I hope you all have encountered is how much easier it is having a support system on your journey. That being said, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge the higher than normal turnover rate for mentors of marginalized students like us. It's actually more likely that you met someone who played a pivotal role in your time here that is not around to see you graduate for a variety of reasons. And for that, I need you to understand how proud I am of you, of us. It's no easy feat to finish college, but through a pandemic and saying goodbye to some of the people who got us here, we did it. It is because of the mentors I've had, specifically the ones that reflect my identities and share my value systems, that I seek to earn a PhD following graduation. At every moment, I was made to feel unsure in this place. I had someone I could look to for support. At every moment, I had a question, whether it was innocent or challenging. I had someone I could ask. At every moment, I was taught something off. I had someone I could lean on and discuss with. This Wisconsin idea that we're told about, this passion for knowledge, it started here in our programs that prepare us to take on our classrooms, that prepare us to take on our peers, and that prepare us to take on the world. Being a student under the DDEEA umbrella has provided me with an invaluable set of tools and resources, way beyond the free printing we'd be getting in CO, because you know I had to say that we get free printing in CO. And if I ever once doubted I was maximizing that in the way that I should be, doing my right thing, my right time, I can look to my mentors. Last semester, my peer mentor from when I was a freshman in CO TA'd one of my classes, and I learned that she is now earning her master's degree in the same field that I want to get my advanced degree in. The same field, that's kind of crazy. That was my full circle moment, and I hope you can recognize your own as we're moving forward together. Congratulations on your accomplishments, graduates. We have worked so hard for this, and it is coming to fruition. Thank you. Now I would like to welcome Sophia Snow, the director of First Wave.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, that was low. I said, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay. My name is Sophia Snow. I'm the director of the Office of Multicultural Arts Initiatives, home of the world's first and only full tuition scholarship program for hip hop and urban arts, First Wave. Each year, First Wave recruits young scholars with exemplary standing in the 3 pillars of our office: academics, arts, and activism. Our First Wave student speaker today has been an exceptional leader in all 3 of these pillars. Yes, ma'am. Tori Briggs, earning her Bachelor of Science in Human Development and Family Studies with a certificate in African American Studies, has given so much of herself to UW campus and local Madison community through several internships, volunteer, and student employment opportunities. She has held the position of president for both the University Gospel Choir as well as the UW-Madison National Pan-Hellenic Council. She currently serves as the first vice president, treasurer, programming, planning, and development chair of Zeta Xi core chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. In 2016, she volunteered for the Wisconsin Democratic Campaign, and in 2022, she was a student staff at the Badger Impact Movement, developing leader training for undergraduate student leaders. Tori has spent her undergraduate career dedicated to growing herself and advocating for her community. We know she will go on to do so much more, and we are so proud of you, Tori. So, without further ado, please make some noise for Tori Briggs.
Good evening, everyone, and congratulations to the class of 2022. Right? My name is Tori Briggs, as you have heard, and I am a senior majoring in Human Development and Family Studies with a certificate in African American Studies, hailing all the way from the South Side, Best Side, only side of Chicago, period. I am a proud member of the 11th cohort of First Wave, and I am immensely grateful to be this year's program representative and speaker. Shout out to my last 2 cohort members, Boosie and Ozzy. And shout out to each and every one of you for making it to this moment. Now, graduates, I was raised Baptist, so bear with me. I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, I am so proud of you. And I want you to turn to your other neighbor and say, neighbor, can I sing to you? I stand before you representing 6 years of discovery, failure, recovery, anxiety, depression, determination, struggle, triumph, and faith. Without God, I would be nothing and nowhere. Without the community and friendships I've been able to attain, I would have gone crazy. And without Gia, the best advisor First Wave could ever ask for, I would not be standing before you today. Without failure, I would not have found the path, my path. My time here has not been easy. My journey has been long. My path is aligned in God's will for my life, so my work is not finished. I know these are my statements, but I'm sure we can all resonate as you think over your time here at UW. As I'm sure we can all remember those luxurious rides on the 80, those healthy journeys up Bascom. And I know I shouldn't say it, but the cheese. Shout out to Wisconsin. A young thespian once said, "Everyone has a story, but not everyone gets to tell that story." Okay, that was actually my Neo, OOOP, shout out to you. But with those words, this is a little inkling of my story, my journey, but each seat tonight is filled with a story. Right now, this room is a novel still being written, because there is so much to learn and even more to gain beyond this moment. However, I charge you to choose this moment. Choose joy, choose love, choose celebration, choose rest, choose you, because you deserve it. The word I choose to leave with you is humility. And I'm sure we've all heard it and have an idea of what it means. But can I tell you what I've learned it to mean? Being humble does not mean one has to be a mat to be walked all over. In fact, it is just the opposite. What it means is you will choose to make yourself useful, do what you can do, and be an instrument of God. For anyone that cannot be used is useless. What? Useless. What? Useless. All right. Thank you, and I am so proud of everyone for making it to this moment. I'd like to send a special thank you to my parents for making it possible for me to stand here as well. And I pray that we all choose to be used as our stories continue. I'm grateful, y'all. Thank you. I would now like to welcome Dr. Audra Hernandez, Director of McNair Scholars.
Hello, everyone. I, too, am short, so thank you, too. My name is Dr. Audra Hernandez, and I'd like to welcome you here tonight. I am the director of the UW-Madison Ronald E. McNair Post-Baccalaureate Achievement Program, better known as the McNair Scholars Program. The McNair Scholars Program is a federal TRIO program funded by the U.S. Department of Education. We prepare those from low-income, first-generation, and underrepresented backgrounds for doctoral studies. Our scholars have faced significant challenges these past 2 years. I don't need to get into them, we all know. But even with these challenges, our McNair scholars have moved forward. They've moved forward with their academics, their research projects, and their preparation for doctoral studies. They moved forward and took advantage of every opportunity the McNair Scholars Program had, because like Dr. Ronald E. McNair said, whether or not you reach your goals in life depends entirely on how well you prepare for them and how badly you want them. I want to congratulate all of our scholars, DDA scholars, everyone graduating here tonight, especially those moving on to graduate studies. It'll be well worth it and challenging at times, but never stop believing in yourself. I am now happy to introduce the McNair commencement speaker for tonight. McNair scholar Jasmine Short is a native Wisconsinite from Racine. She has demonstrated excellence, not only as a McNair scholar, but as a 3-time TRIO scholar. She participated in the pre-college program Upward Bound, CEO here at UW, and also, of course, McNair. Her dedication to community service and engagement has steered her UW-Madison experience, from her research on pathways of formerly incarcerated parents to her leadership and both on campus and within the Madison community. For her accomplishments, she was rightfully awarded this year's DDA recipient of the Ginsburg Family Award, which recognizes outstanding student leaders. This fall, she will move on to her Master's in Social Work program and begin a career working in the mental health field, focusing on individuals and families impacted by incarceration. Please join me in welcoming Jasmine Short to the stage.
Thank you, Audra, for that great introduction. Good evening, family, friends, faculty, and fellow graduates. My name is Jasmine Short, a McNair Scholar from Racine, Wisconsin, majoring in social work. I want to start off by saying what an honor it is to speak to you all tonight. Growing up as a first-generation student, guidance on and resources to higher education was very limited. Early on, I learned to become my biggest advocate and seek for any opportunities that would help further my education as much as possible. To focus on McNair is to focus on TRIO. My journey began in high school when I found out about Upward Bound, which focuses on informing, teaching high school students about the process of applying to college. That was my introduction to TRIO programs. TRIO programs provide services for students with disabilities, as well as students that come from low-income first-generation households whose parents or guardians have not completed a 4-year degree. As I used the support and guidance from Upward Bound to get ready for my next steps, I discovered what TRIO had to offer. As a high school senior, I applied to 17 undergraduate universities, unsure of where or what kind of school I wanted to attend. Specifically looking into UW-Madison, there were a lot of doubts in my mind. I was unsure of what I wanted to major in at the time, but I knew I wanted to work with people in the future. It was a school I was interested in for various reasons: the distance from home, the size of the campus, and the number of opportunities the school had to offer. But navigating through the process to apply to one of the top institutions in the country was nerve-wracking. With the support of the Upward Bound community, I was able to successfully apply and receive admission from the university. Following my admission, I received a letter from the Center for Educational Opportunity, also known as CO. CO is another TRIO program under Student Support Services, a program catered to first-generation college students pursuing higher education, and it helped acclimate me to campus by allowing me to move into the dorms earlier and providing programming during the week of move-in, introducing me to people who would soon become lifelong friends. As an underclassman, I found myself interested in research within the social sciences. At this time, knowing that I was going to major in social work and that grad school may become an option for me, as there are not many researchers of color within the field of social work, and that I wanted to change that narrative. That is when I began my path in research as a scholar in the Undergraduate Research Scholars Program. For an entire year, I worked alongside Dr. Etheline Whitmire, working on her project, African Americans in 20th Century Denmark, in the Department of Afro-American Studies. As an experience I greatly enjoyed, I thought about all the work I wanted to do in the future and decided to return to the program the next year as a fellow, where I facilitated a program discussing different fields of research. This really fueled my desire to further delve myself into the field of research. So in the fall of 2021, I was encouraged by a close friend of mine to apply to the McNair Scholars Program, not knowing what would come of it or how it would change my academic trajectory. During my beginning stages in McNair, I came across a number of research opportunities, but the work Dr. Pajarito Charles was doing in the Lab for Family Wellbeing and Justice was one that really stood out to me because of my personal experiences. With hopes of working in this lab, I reached out to Dr. Charles and ultimately got the opportunity to work with her. I've learned so much and grown in this lab, and it has been nothing short of an honor and pleasure working with Dr. Charles. My time as a McNair Scholar has taught me so much about myself, not only as a student, but as a person. McNair has challenged me as both a scholar and a researcher, and made me realize that I am more capable than I could have ever imagined. That I will get my doctorate degree, and so will everyone else in this room that has the desire to do so. I am very grateful for the range of opportunities McNair has provided, including the funding I was given to travel to graduate schools, the mentorship and guidance from professionals, the assignments that seemed pointless at the time but were very beneficial in a variety of ways, and all the people I met along the way. Next fall, I will be attending the #1 School of Social Work program to pursue a Master's of Social Work as an advanced standing student at the University of Michigan on a full tuition scholarship. As a first-generation college student, I never imagined I would pursue a graduate-level degree, but here I am because of all the support I had these past 4 years. Fellow scholars, our work is important and will have a lasting impact. I can't wait to see all the accomplishments my future colleagues will have. Congratulations to us. Mom, Thank you for always being there and being my #1 fan. I love you and I wouldn't be who I am today without you. G, thank you for being the best sister and friend a girl could ask for, especially when school got stressful. CJ, I thank you for all the guidance and words of wisdom this past school year. I couldn't have made it through application season without you. Paha, thank you for believing in me and supporting me in all of my academic endeavors. Without you in the McNair program, I would not have the love for academia I have today. And to the McNair Scholars Program, thank you for your continued support and preparation for the next phase of my life. And to UW, the pleasure was all yours. Thank you.
I would now like to welcome Gao Young Thao, Interim Assistant Director of the Mercille J. Lee Scholars Program.
All right. Good evening. My name is Gao Zhang Tao, and I serve as the Interim Assistant Director for the Mercille J. Lee Scholars Program. The Mercille J. Lee Scholars Program is a merit-based scholarship program for historically underrepresented students at UW-Madison. Founded in the early 80s, the Mercille J. Lee Scholars Program has supported students in the pursuit of a college degree and their development as global citizens who excel in scholarship, leadership, and service. Our graduating scholars today will join the ranks of Mercille J. Lee Scholars alumni who have made a profound impact on the lives of their families and communities around them. Scholars, it has been an immense pleasure to bear witness to your journey, and we're so excited to see how you'll claim your space in this world with self-knowledge, courage, and compassion. Tonight, I'm honored to introduce one of our graduating Mercille J. Lee Scholars, Tessa Pham. Tessa has distinguished herself in many ways as a Mercille J. Lee Scholar, not only through her academic achievements, but also through her involvement in leadership activities on campus. Tessa has worked as a lead peer mentor for a first-year seminar at UW-Madison, as well as a student worker for the Inclusion, Equity, and Diversity in Engineering Student Center, where she planned events, worked with diversity-focused organizations, and helped with coordinating the Student Success Summit. Tessa has also served as an officer for the Society of Women Engineers and is a volunteer co-chair as well as a class co-chair for her cohort in the Mercille J. Lee Scholars Program. Tessa is a scholar who truly embodies our program philosophy of excellence in scholarship, leadership, and service. After graduation, Tessa will move on to her next adventure as an operations engineer for Cargill in Gainesville, Georgia. Tessa, we are so immensely proud of you and congratulate you on all your accomplishments. Please welcome Tessa Pham to the stage.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Kao Jung, for the introduction. It's an honor to represent the MJLS program. Hello, thank you for coming to support our DDEA 2022 graduating scholars. My name is Tessa Pham. I use she, her pronouns. I am a Chancellor Scholar in the Mercille J. Lee Scholarship Program. I'm originally from Racine, Wisconsin, and spent my time at UW-Madison studying chemical engineering. Throughout my 4 years here, I have been the volunteer and the class co-chair for my scholarship cohort, as well as a peer mentor in the residence halls and an officer in my org, the Society of Women Engineers. After graduation, I'll be working as an operations engineer in Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. I'm realizing now Kao Jung said all of this, I'm sorry. When I started writing this speech, it was hard to pick what to write about. In the end, I decided to focus on one thing that I learned. This thing cannot be taught, but it is felt. It was felt the second I stepped on campus for my first Welcome Back picnic. The Mercille J. Lee program provided me with a community that I could have not put together myself. I was gifted a group of amazing advisors, a cohort of incredible students, and a bunch of opportunities to help our community grow. As a Chancellor Scholar, I had financial as well as academic aid. The MJLSP office is always open to scholars. The advisors provided unconditional support throughout all 4 years I had here. They want to see you do great, but they're there for you when you feel like you aren't doing great. I distinctly remember making a stop at Bascom Hall to have a moment in my advisor's office when I thought I failed my OChem lab final. I was worried about getting kicked out of my program, getting in trouble with a scholarship, or upsetting my family, all because I did poorly on this exam. My advisor calmed me down and gave me the support when I needed it the most. His guidance and advice showed me that this community is there for you throughout the ups and the downs. Speaking of downs, a year and a half of COVID kept the scholars apart. We switched our monthly meetings to online, created new social and volunteer events, and adapted to the new learning environment. Throughout all of this, my class of Chancellor Scholars found ways to get closer. We had awesome crafting socials online, got to chat with each other through breakout rooms on Zoom, and came back to campus stronger than ever. My class has put together intramural soccer teams, informal formals, and more. The Mercille J. Lee Scholarship Program has provided me with a community of scholars who are all on different paths but have similar values. Instilled in this community is the value of giving back. We are all here because someone decided to pay it forward and give us a chance to come to college. As scholars, we work hard to improve our community. For example, we have been leaving our monthly meetings with gloves and garbage bags to pick up trash on our walks home. As the volunteer co-chair last year, my co-Melissa and I put on a fundraiser for Second Harvest Food Bank around Thanksgiving. In just 48 hours, my class was able to raise over $1,000, which was over 3,000 meals. This program has given us a gift of great generosity, and I believe we are all grateful and hope to pay it forward in the future. Friends, family, and others, thank you for supporting us through the challenges and celebrating our successes. MJLSP advisors and advisors of all programs, thank you for your hard work and dedication to the students. Graduates, congratulations. You're all so cool, and I can't wait to see what's next for you. As my scholars and I start to go our separate paths, I know we will better our communities in our own unique ways. Regardless of where we are or what we're doing, I know we will continue to practice scholarship, leadership, and service. Because, as we all know, once a scholar, always a scholar. Thank you. I would now like to welcome Gail Ford, the director of the People Program.
All right, if it's a good evening, let me hear you say, yeah. It is my distinct pleasure as the director of the Pre-College Enrichment Opportunity Program for Learning Excellence, more commonly known as the People Program, to congratulate the Spring 2022 graduating class of People College Scholars and all the graduates in the assembly today. Some of these scholars started in the People Program as sixth graders. We are their partners for college access and success, and we are elated that you have reached this milestone in your academic careers. Here to speak on behalf of the Spring 2022 graduates is an Afro-Latina woman who describes herself as creative, caring, and committed. Her pronouns are she, her, and hers. The impact that she wants to have on the world is to help shape a more enlightened police policies around racial bias, create opportunities for better interactions between the community and the police, make a positive change as it relates to race and education, and increase the high school graduation rates for Latinx and African American students. She said, I got work to do. I will let her tell you in her own words who she is and all about her college experience, because the pleasure, stealing from my sister over there, is going to be all yours, okay? Please welcome Serena Flores to the stage.
Ooh, snap, okay. Okay, please forgive me. I'm feeling a little lightheaded. It was really, really hot downstairs, so just bear with me. All right. Good evening. My name is Serena Flores. I'm graduating with a Bachelor of Arts with a double major in Political Science and Sociology with a certificate in African Studies. I consider myself an artist, an activist, a poet, and community builder. I've been in People Program since the 6th grade. I wanted to be a Badger my entire life. Being in the People Program helped make it possible with their continuous enrichment programming, ACT prep, and support in middle school and high school. I come from an accumulation of cultures, but being a student of color at the UW-Madison is empowering and intimidating all at once. My experience on campus had been a dilemma of feeling isolated on a predominantly white campus. It had been difficult navigating my multicultural identity as an Afro-Latina woman. At the UW, my sense of self pivoted. I felt misplaced because the majority of my classes, I'm the only woman of color. I began to seek out community and go to events where I felt I identified with others. I have found that making connections with people who not only look like me, but have similar outlooks as me, had boosted my sense of belonging here on campus. Finding safe spaces such as the People Office, the BCC, the MCC have been really useful in gaining a sense of community. People Program has provided me with resources, meals, networking opportunities, and most importantly, a safe space. College has been fun, going to football games, parties, meeting new people, making new friends. But I want to share my most memorable experience with you, and most life-changing experience. I got the opportunity to study abroad in Ghana, Africa in 2019. I attended the University of Ghana, Accra. So when I left with no expectations. I know that kind of sounds crazy, like I didn't do my research, like even though I was about to travel across the world. I just really knew it was going to be hot. Like, oh, that's all I knew. I just knew it was going to be super hot. But, so I lived in Accra, the capital city. I lived in a city. It was like LA or Madison or Chicago. But I was also immersed in wealth and poverty happening all at once. I felt empowered living somewhere where everyone looked like me. I remember my first day at the University of Ghana. I walked into a lecture hall, and there was a classroom of over 200 students who were all brown. Brown people on billboards, all my teachers were brown. It was a breath of fresh air. I learned about the culture, the language, I enjoyed the food, and I even took a traditional dance class. I lived on the coast, so I spent a lot of time at the beach. I volunteered with children through a program called Play and Learn. I read to children at our mobile library and at the local primary school. I co-facilitated events and helped children enhance their reading ability and vocabulary. I made lifelong connections in Ghana and gained a totally different perspective of life across the world. So Ghana just became an independent state from the British in 1957. The national language is English, but they still they still hold on to their traditional languages. I lived on the Ivory Coast, and I lived about 4 hours away from Cape Coast, which is the place where slaves were shipped back and forth. This is the passage where slaves were picked up. And so while I was there, I learned a lot. I learned about the passage of slavery, not only on this side of the world, but the beginning of the journey on that side of the world. And so while I was there, it gave me insight into global development, underdevelopment, and colonization. I say this because we're also taught this marinated version of history. Other parts of the world are not far removed from colonization. I'm here today because I'm here to rewrite history, and I'm also here to tell you guys her stories. During my time in undergraduate, I started my own business called Serena the Flower. My art centers around diversity and positivity. I've sold artwork to the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, to Merrill Elementary School in Beloit, and I have been asked to do murals as well as teach art classes here in Madison. My existence is resistance, and I do not consider activism something I do, but activism is something I am. I created artwork on State Street during the George Floyd protests. My artwork along with, sorry, my phone is being silly. My artwork along with dozens of other artists and activists has been preserved and published in books called Let's Talk About It. My friend Tony Robinson was murdered in 2015 here in Madison. This was my junior year of high school. Tony's death has motivated me to pursue my degrees. I want to shape more enlightened police policies around racial biases and innovate better interactions with the community and the police. I want to make positive change relating to race and education. Navigating the highs and lows of life has taught me the important lessons of resilience, perseverance, asking for help. I experienced varying degrees of physical and mental disabilities as well because of my past traumas. But then I learned how to navigate finding safe spaces and finding resources and finding support. And I learned new learning strategies. We've all been in school through all phases of the pandemic. It was not an easy adjustment at first for me moving to virtual learning. I learned the importance of connecting with my professors and TAs. I learned there is no shame in getting a tutor. I learned the importance of connecting with classmates. Being connected with classmates is another form of support. We help each other fill in the missing pieces. I want to apply for graduate school, possibly law school, and hopefully start a program in spring 2023. I want to get involved in Madison's local politics and learn more about education policies and budgeting. I'm strong, smart, and I've bounced back from adversity. I know I want to make a positive impact on the world so that the next generations do not have to face inequity and disparities such as I have. I want to thank God, my mom, my grandma, my aunts, my family, mentors, my advisors. People program, my best friends, and my village. I want to remember my loved ones who aren't here today. Because I'm here for them. In closing, I want to leave you all with a few words of advice for your next chapter. Never give up. It's okay to step back, take a break, take a breath, but get back up and get back in the game. Whether an army stands behind you or you stand alone, always stand up for what you believe in. Don't be afraid to ask for help. We are all still students in this journey called life. And lastly, when you feel like you don't belong, as someone told me my freshman year, be the diamond in a bed of rocks. Thank you. I would now like to welcome Albert Munez, advisor with the Posse program.
Good evening. My name is Albert Muniz, advisor for Posse Scholars at UW-Madison. I have the distinct honor of introducing tonight's student speaker representing the Posse program. Ann Saucedo is a member of our 16th Posse from Los Angeles. A posse is a group of 10 students carefully selected and primed for achievement at the collegiate level. Throughout her time at UW-Madison, Ann has exemplified all the measures of Posse Scholar success, including academic excellence and leadership activities. Among her many accomplishments, Ann was president of the Science Communication Club, a student ambassador for the Bucky's Classroom Outreach Program with UW Connects, and a policy researcher with the Citizens Climate Lobby. Ann's time with us culminates this weekend as she graduates with her Bachelor of Science in Life Sciences Communication and Microbiology. Please give a warm welcome to Posse Scholar Ann Saucedo.
Greetings, family, friends, and my fellow graduates. It's so wonderful to be here with all of you, especially after these past 2 years. As Albert just said, my name is Ann Saucedo, and I'm a proud member of LA Posse 16. For as long as I can remember, I have been obsessed with science. I crave discovery and figuring out what it was that made the world work. So naturally, I came to UW-Madison, and I chose to study something that makes up everything: microbes. Microbes are everywhere. They are honestly one of the most ubiquitous, consistent things on this planet. Most often, people think of bacteria as an asocial, single-celled organism that exists independently from each other. And while they are independent, they operate in communities, just like we do. Much like bacteria, we communicate through extensive pathways, forming complex networks along the way. Bacteria form something called biofilms, which are intricate structures made up of interconnected, different bacterial colonies. The Posse community itself is its own little biofilm of interlinked uniqueness that communicates, supports, and grows on and with each other. It operates as a collective unit of the scholars, the staff, the mentors, and the Posse cohorts of past, present, and future. It exists as a reminder of what you are capable of achieving, a reminder of why you deserve to be here, and a reminder of your place in this world. Bacteria by themselves are small enough that you can't see them with the naked eye, yet they have immense impact. Posse is very much like that. We are a small but mighty bunch here on a campus of 40,000. We have found ways to elicit change on virtually every corner of campus through our courses, our research, our clubs, our leadership positions, our athletics, and much more. However, like bacteria, we are not invincible. We face challenges and hardship. Yet just as bacteria can develop resistance to become stronger and fortified, when we are faced with challenges that threaten our success and our survival, we evolve. We find new ways to fight back, to confront issues, to continue to create change, and to excel. We are resilient. What you may not know is that bacteria actually have memories. The biofilms they develop create robust collective memories that are shared among community. Our experience here as Posse scholars has given us these collective memories that we share within our own little biofilm. Posse's original intention was to provide a sort of built-in support system on campus. For all of us, it has become much more than that. The people of Posse have become best friends and ultimately family. We have grown together and learned things from each other in more ways than we ever could have imagined when we met 4 years ago. My experience at UW was foundationally shaped by my experience as a Posse scholar, especially in the UW Posse community. I'm a product of the love and support of this community, shared in the smiles as you pass by on the street, the late night emotional conversations, the crazy stories we'll all keep a secret, and the overwhelming support that picks you up when you're down. As a result of the love and support of Posse, I've had the most memorable college experience here at UW. While earning a Bachelor of Science in Microbiology and Life Sciences Communication, I've served as a communications intern on a research project assisting and advocating for Lyme disease research and education, conducted climate change research while serving as a policy writer on the Wisconsin Governor's Task Force on Climate Change, volunteered in the greater Madison community to help combat food insecurity, and help mobilize rural voters in Wisconsin during regional and national elections. Being a part of Posse has afforded me to succeed and to foster bountiful relationships. I'm proud to announce that after graduation, I will be serving as a communications specialist in the Department of International Health at the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. While this may be the end to our journey as students, this is not the end of our journey together. I implore you all to cherish the moments that we shared together, reminisce on the memories that we made, and be hopeful for the future that we will create. Thank you, and congratulations to you all. Now I'd like to turn it back over to Dr. Charleston. Thank you.
Our future is indeed bright with these young minds who will be leading us. Now to introduce another incredibly brilliant group of scholars, the DDEA interns. Student interns have been an integral part of the DDEA since it was founded in 2010. Our interns collaborate with us in our programs and assist with central office operations. They are in a unique position to learn about strategic diversity leadership through direct experience with administrators and staff in our offices. Our internship program is designed to pique our students' interests, skills, and abilities in a way that enhances their preparation for the workforce. We are proud to congratulate our class of 2022 DDA interns. They are Jessica Campos, Ophia Garcia Garbuno, Yuning Wu, Si Xiong, Yi Yang. Congratulations and thank you for your service to the DDEA. We will now recognize our graduates. Each program will be called up and then we will ask students to come forward and be recognized individually. I welcome back to the stage Dr. Julie Janiak to the podium to recognize the Center for Educational Opportunity graduates.
Maya Alexis Gonzalez. Shania Auxier. Angelica Itzel Contreras. Aaron Tritz. Lynn Pham. Randy Selvey. Diane Tebe. Shelby Foss. Lily Koo. Priscilla Contreras. Delaney Agnew. Hatsidi Campos. Austin Machi. Viviridiana Carreno. Arameras Kevas. Christina Jojo. At this time, I welcome Sophia Snow to the podium.
Will our first wave graduates please rise and join me on the stage?
Believe in shooting stars, but she believe in shoes and cars. Wood floors in the new apartment, couture from the store's departments. You more like love to start.
First wave knows an entrance song, okay? Oluwabosola Oshandero. Tori Briggs. Ozzy Dodson. So proud, so proud. At this time, I welcome Dr. Audra Hernandez to the podium.
Well, McNair graduates, please rise and join me on the stage. Caitlin McVeigh. Beata Gonzalez Gonzalez. Kellen Sharp. Godwill Aka. Luis Manuel Oboyo Socorro. Angelo Madruga. Lena Liu. Jasmine Short. Sofia Garcia Gorbano. At this time, I welcome Giao Zhang Tao to the stage, to the podium.
Will our Mercille J. Lee graduates please rise and join me on the stage? And now, our 2022 Mercille J. Lee graduates. Tessa Pham. Joshua Reby. Thomas Wynn. Lauren Azu. Jamie Wheelock. Maya Heisaw. Mia Smiley. Sophia Rodriguez. Aiden Ross. Taylor Gilmore. Aaron Jenkins. Madison Chow. Karen Abrego. Jacqueline Cervantes. Marina Melby. Benjamin Moki. Alexis Gilliard. Tamia Folks. Ivy Murufo. Mubarak JJ. Kayla Griffin. Jordan Gardape. Alicia Jones. Jackson Newhoff. Philip Tu Vang. Dominic Battistini. Alberto Alejandro Rodriguez Toro. Sarah Perry. Vivian Fawn. Melissa Lay. Angelica Lopez. Guy Lahua. Sofia Garcia Garbuno. At this time, I welcome Gail Ford to the podium.
Will our people graduates please rise and join me on stage?
They always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hate and say we changing, look, we made it. Yeah, we made it. They was never friendly, yeah. Now I'm jumping out of Bentley. yeah. And I know I sound dramatic, yeah, but I know I had to have it, yeah. For the money, I'm a savage, yeah. I be itching like I had it, yeah. I'm surrounded 20 bags, yeah, but they didn't know me last year, yeah. Everyone wanna act like they important, but all that mean nothing when I saw my door, yeah. Everyone counting on me, drop the ball, yeah. Everything custom like I'm at the bottom, yeah, yeah.
Dr. Charleston, look to your left. Dr. Charleston, look to your left. Serena Flores. Erica Mosen. B. Robbins. Isaac Zaman. Maddie Elkstorm. Luis Manuel Ambero Sagoro. Julia Nawa Tanner. Hi, Natalie. Natalia Mia Del Rio. Jasmine Zuninga Paez. Jacqueline Zinga Paez. Isaiah Gordon. Alexis Wong. Daniela Loera Rivera. Evelyn Mendoza Nunez. Yi Yang. Autumn Rain Chevalier. Alina Hill. Calvin O'Donnell. Chanel Sims. Adriana Griffin Phillips. At this time, I welcome Albert Muniz to the stage.
Will our posse graduates please rise and join me on stage?
Hey yo, I am the star in any room that I stand in. I am the standout, you just my stand-in. These bitches copy my homework, that's what they hand in. That's why I'm private like the airports I land in. Life is a beach house, don't let the sand in. I ball in any arena, go let the fans in. I should go cop a New Jersey, that's worth the Camden. These bitches time tick-tocking, better stick to dancing. I D&G, the wallet. My money tall and brolic. Big ass backyards just so Papa Bear could frolic. One margarita pizza with Parmesan and garlic. These bitches thirsty, I can see why they alcoholics. Ain't gotta ever.
And now our 2022 Posse graduates. Z. Akani. Anne Marie Salcedo. Arthur Willis. Latoya Wilson. Kelsey Carmela Campbell. Safiatu Berry. Reese Washington. Darion Allen. Christian Alvarado. Cynthia Villatoro. Carrington DeVille. Saren Sidata. Joan Chen. Devin Mosey. Catherine Elizabeth Mercado. Kendall Newman. Stacy Amaya Bueno Teodoro. Liam Murphy. AJ Nakiba. Jaylina Karmacharya. Alexander Roman. Jocelyn Orozco.
All right. We are rounding the bend. I now have the honor to present to you all the DDA graduates, class of 2022. Graduates, please stand. All right. In the tradition of symbolizing your progression from one level of learning to the next, please, please move your tassels from right to the left. Welcome to the rank of University of Wisconsin-Madison graduate and alumni. And now, in the tradition of the University of Wisconsin-Madison, please stand and join me in singing our alma mater, Varsity. The words are printed on the program for those who don't know it. Let's congratulate all of today's graduates one more time. And on behalf of the University of Wisconsin-Madison, I thank you all for attending today and taking part in this wonderful ceremony. We will have a reception upstairs at Great Hall and Tripp Commons immediately following the ceremony. Parents and guests, please remain seated during the recessional. Graduates, faculty, and staff, please stand for the academic recessional. The platform party will process into the wings, and our graduates will leave the way you entered. Good night, and on Wisconsin.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it. La 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 la. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. It's Friday night, and I feel alright. The party's here on the west side. So I reach for my 40 and I turn it up. Designated driver, take the keys to my truck. Hit the shawl cause I'm faded. Honey's in the streets, say money, yo, we made it. It feels so good in my hood tonight. The summertime skirts and the guys ain't canine. All the gangbangers forgot about the drive-by. You gotta get your groove on before you go get paid. So tip up your cup and throw your hands up and let me hit a party. Say, I'm kinda buzzed and it's all because this is how we do it. South Central does it like nobody does. This is how we do it. To all my neighbors, you got much flavor. This is how we do it. Let's flip the track, bring the old school back. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. All hands are in the air and wave from here to there. If you're an OG Mac or a wannabe player, you see the hood's been good to me ever since I was a lowercase G. But now I'm a big G. The girls see I got the money, $100 bills, y'all. If you were from where I'm from, then you would know that I gotta get mine in a big black truck. You can get yours in a 6-4. Whatever it is, the party's underway. So tip up your cup and throw your hands up and let me hear the party say, I'm kinda buzzed, it's all because this is how we do it. South Central does it like nobody does. This is how we do it. To all my neighbors, you got much flavor. This is how we do it. Let's flip the track, bring the old school back. This is how we do it. I'm kinda buzzed, it's all because this is how we do it. South Central does it like nobody does. Nobody does. YNB, SCC. This is how my homies. I'll never come back on an old school track. This is how we do it. Check it out. Once upon a time in 94, Montel made no money and life show was slow. And all they said was 6'8" he stood. And people thought the music that he made was good. They lived the DJ and Paul was his name.